this message is reaching you right now, know that it's no coincidence. Subscribe to the Messages from the Soul channel and leave a like. This way you support this work of love. The story goes that in a certain dark and deep hole, there were several frogs. They had lived for a long time in that damp, cold, and lifeless place, rarely seeing the golden light of the sun touch their skin. They spent their days in the dense darkness, accustomed to that limited and gray reality, without even imagining that a completely different world existed outside, full of possibilities, beauty, and freedom. From time to time, a beautiful, free nightingale would stop nearby to drink water from the small well and observe, with a mixture of curiosity and deep sadness. That group of frogs living in such a restricted way, imprisoned in their own ignorance of what life could offer beyond those dark walls. One day, moved by the genuine compassion that dwelt in his sensitive heart, the nightingale decided to break the silence and speak with them. He approached gently and asked in a soft voice, "Don't you want to leave your burrow? Aren't you curious about what lies beyond these walls? Don't you wish to know other ways of living?" The frogs, frightened and suspicious of that strange question they had never considered before, answered harshly and defensively, "Go where exactly? Why would we do that? What is out there that could be better, safer, or more comfortable than here, where we have always been?" The nightingale, with all the patience and love it could muster, tried to show them, with careful words and sincere enthusiasm, everything they didn't know but that existed right there, so close and yet so distant from their limited reality. It spoke of the radiant sunlight that warms and illuminates everything with its generous brilliance, of the crystal-clear lakes where one can swim freely without limits, of the mighty rivers teeming with vibrant life, of the exuberant nature with its vibrant and intense colors, its melodious sounds that soothed the soul, its infinite possibilities for experiences and discoveries. He described in detail the immense blue sky, stretching as far as the eye could see, the white clouds floating softly like cotton, the cool breeze gently caressing the leaves of the trees, the birds singing their cheerful melodies at dawn, the incomparable feeling of freedom that comes from being able to come and go without restrictions. But the frogs, deeply trapped in their limited beliefs and paralyzing fears of the unknown, didn't believe a single word. To them, it all sounded like absurd fantasy, like elaborate lies, like something impossible to exist. After all, how could there be something so different from what they had always known throughout their lives? They began to fight fiercely amongst themselves, arguing with growing anger and visceral fear, and finally concluded, in a bitter and destructive consensus, that the nightingale was a dangerous liar, someone who was trying to deceive them, confuse them, take them away from their known safety. They firmly believed, with unwavering conviction, that the world could only be what they knew, what they touched, what they saw every day in their dark hole. Blinded by profound ignorance and paralyzing fear of the unknown, unable to consider that a reality different from their own could exist, they set a cruel and cowardly trap. And in a tragic act of violence born from a refusal to see beyond, they ended up killing the nightingale, silencing forever that gentle voice that tried to free them from their self-imposed prison. This powerful story directly connects us to the profound teachings of the philosopher Plato, who more than 2,000 years ago gifted us with the famous allegory of the cave. In this timeless and universal myth, Plato masterfully illustrates how many human beings refuse to see beyond what they already know, preferring to remain comfortably in familiar shadows rather than bravely facing the intense light of truth that may initially dazzle but eventually liberates completely. At every moment of our existence, God, in His infinite mercy and unconditional love, sends us His spiritual nightingales. These are subtle yet clear signs, messages of love disguised in everyday experiences, gentle but urgent invitations to awaken from our spiritual slumber and see life in a completely different way, higher, more conscious, more fulfilling. These divine nightingales can reach us in countless unexpected ways. Through an inspiring book that falls into our hands exactly when we need it most. Through a casual conversation that suddenly touches our hearts deeply. Through an unavoidable pain that forces us to stop our frantic rush and reflect on what really matters. Through a seemingly casual encounter that completely changes our perspective, through a spiritual teaching that resonates within us as recognized truth. Even though our life may seem good and fulfilling as it is right now, even though we are not facing any major visible crises, it can always be lived better, experienced more deeply, consciously appreciated, and shared more meaningfully. There is always room for growth, expansion, evolution, and a deepening of our understanding of ourselves and the greater purpose of our existence. If you recognize the nightingales that God has sent into your life, if you have already felt that gentle call to awaken, write Amen in the comments. Some of us, with open hearts and receptive minds, accept this transformative call with humility and gratitude. Others, unfortunately, out of fear, attachment to the known, pride, or simply resistance to change, do not accept it. And that's okay, because each soul has its own time to awaken, its unique rhythm of evolution, its particular lessons to learn. No one is obligated to believe anything against their will. No one can be forced to see what they are not yet ready to see. But each of us needs, eventually, to discover for ourselves what truly makes deep sense for our individual journey, what brings true peace to our restless heart, what effectively illuminates our often obscure path. This new, expanded spiritual vision, when genuinely embraced with sincerity and practiced consistently, it immensely helps us to face with greater serenity and understanding the painful passing of loved ones, the frightening illnesses that visit our physical body, the stressful financial challenges that test our faith, and the complicated personal problems that make us question everything. This deeper understanding of life doesn't magically prevent pain from coming to us. After all, pain is an inevitable part of the process of human growth and spiritual evolution, but it gives us an unwavering inner serenity, a broader understanding of the wise, and a precious wisdom to weather these inevitable storms without completely sinking, without losing our faith, without forgetting who we truly are. Now, take a moment with me. Breathe deeply 3 times, very slowly. Ask your heart with complete sincerity, are you being a frog in a hole, or are you willing to listen to your nightingale? When you have your answer, come back and let's continue this important reflection together. Unfortunately, we observe that many still consciously prefer to bitterly rebel against life's circumstances, conveniently blame others for absolutely everything that goes wrong, eternally play the comfortable but destructive role of helpless victims, or harshly and without compassion judge those who think differently, who seek alternative paths, who question the established status quo. But the liberating truth we need to embrace is that all of us, absolutely all of us without exception, are imperfect beings in constant evolution, continually learning through trial and error, stumbling and getting up, succeeding and failing, gradually growing towards the light. What is important, what is truly essential for our evolution, is not to symbolically kill the precious nightingales that come to us with their transformative messages of hope and possibility, not to cruelly stifle the uncomfortable but liberating truth that insistently knocks on our door, not to automatically reject the loving and persistent invitation that God offers us daily to emerge from the dark hole of ignorance, fear, self-imposed limitation, and finally reach the full light of true spiritual knowledge and lasting inner peace. May this new cycle that is beginning right now in your life be the luminous nightingale of your personal destiny, gently but firmly calling you to awaken from your prolonged spiritual slumber, to see with renewed clarity what you have not yet seen but has always been there, to feel intensely what you have not yet allowed yourself to feel, to deeply understand what you have not yet understood, and to significantly strengthen your precious and irreplaceable connection with the sacred, with the divine, with God. Always remember, engrave this deeply in your heart, sincere and heartfelt prayer is a direct, immediate, and powerful connection with God without any need for human intermediaries, without unnecessary bureaucracy, without real distance. You can talk to Him at any time of day or night, wherever you are, about any matter that weighs on your heart, and He will always, always be listening with loving attention to every word, every thought, every sigh of your soul. Remember also this comforting truth: patient and merciful time is the greatest natural remedy God has given us to gradually overcome the ills of the soul and body, to heal the deepest wounds, to transform unbearable pain into useful wisdom, provided we are genuinely walking the right path of evolution and love, diligently doing our part, constantly seeking to grow. Trust fully, with all your being, God's infinite and unconditional goodness is always by your side in every moment, in good times and bad, in victories and defeats, in smiles and tears. God never abandons any of His children, no matter how lost they may feel. Share this video with that special person, a dear friend, a close family member, someone who needs to hear that there is a better way to live. You could be the nightingale in someone's life today through a simple act of sharing.